listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station, bringing you Let's Talk with open discussions, hot topics, as well as information. All information and resources are based on the opinions of the host, unless otherwise noted. This podcast may contain some quotations, images, and/or excerpts from copyrighted material. These uses fall well within the copyright doctrine of fair use. This is Let's Talk. I don't count likes, calories, or blessings. I don't dine with snakes or bite my tongue. It is what it is. I am what I am. I am your host, Tony Williams. Welcome to my listeners and all of my day ones. We are on this hot topic today. Uh, Her behavior, his behavior. How does it intertwine with marriage and divorce and marriage career women? I'll explain that a little bit further. Um, this is one of those hot button issues. Godly women seeking a godly and God fearing man, or are they really just career marriage chasers for the bag? This is what we're dealing with. There's a lot of videos out there about this. There's a lot of men who are basically like, hey, we about to go our own way because this ain't quite right. So what is a godly woman? She is industrious. She is prudent. She's wise. She's compassionate. She is classy. She is kind, trustworthy, valuable, fruitful, as well as praiseworthy. Now, those things are kind of hard to do, let's be honest. It takes a lot of work. And if we are going to be wanting and expecting a man that is going to care for us from top to bottom, giving us everything he got, no questions asked, no doubt, no problems, or none of that, we really got to be that godly woman. But it's a lot of us that are not doing that, and you're actually just out there kind of chasing the bag. And they're using this on like dating profiles and things, saying that they're a godly woman and that's what they're looking for, and it's kind of being used as a ruse. But on the same token, you find these women online and they're bashing the hell out of men, which is not cool at all. They are kings and they should be treated like they are. Because, like I say, we can't expect something from them and not think that, okay, they're going to expect something from us as well. I mean, it's a two-way street. But men are not looking for a lazy woman, a wife who is not prepared. She's sloppy. She's not thinking ahead. It's one of those bad type of busybodies. And they're characterized by excuses and an overall lack in excellence. Ungodly women don't view men as worthy, needed, or as co-equals. They lack the understanding needed to actually be that godly woman. She is distracted, materialistic, self-absorbed, and she fights for the limelight. An ungodly woman isn't kind. She is rigid, legalistic, deceivable, and gossips. She's untrustworthy, shames him, isn't productive or respected. These women are those who lack moral discipline and sexual restraint, or is manipulative, discouraging, and or corrupting others. So let's look at this, his behavior and her behavior. Because that pretty much makes you either an option or not an option for a well-to-do, well-rounded man. Or should I say what they're looking for out there online, high-value men. Um, his behavior, husband. He is the Lord of the household. The husband works diligently to provide material needs and protection, be considerate, treat wives with respect as the weaker partner and as heirs. Yes, women, we are the weaker partner. Own it. We can't do everything that they can do. Know it and understand it, and we can be a little bit closer to being godly. Now, his behavior continued. We should also avoid any action or situation that might eventually tempt us into adultery. His behavior, love his wife as he loves himself. Her behavior, wife as his helper. The wife worked diligently at domestic chores to be submissive to your husband. Your beauty should not come from outward adornment. It's what's on the inside. The gentle and unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth. We should also avoid any action or situation that might eventually tempt us into adultery. As wives, we must respect our husbands. I mean, and this is what's pretty much commanded of us of God. So we gotta kind of run with it because it's more than natural than anything. But you have those women who are using that as a rules online to get men to, marry them and probably give them a kid. And it's just chasing the bag versus actually trying to be this actual woman because this is what you really want. You want to be an actual wife to a good man. So when you go out there and then you trap men and then they're bashing men, calling them dogs and dusty and all of this other kind of nonsense, yeah, that lets you know they're not godly women. And there are so many women out there doing it. Now, when it comes to divorce in this thing, we should make an effort each and every day to keep our marriages strong and not let them drift toward divorce. We must put aside our anger, forgive your spouse, even if it is a million times. Always be faithful, subdue our own pride and ego, and always let love guide our actions. It's hard, it's not easy, it is hard, but it would be so much more worth it than just bad mouthing dudes, being nice and sweet and trying to be everything on the outside that they want to be picked to get married and be covered for life without having to lift a finger. But the problem with that is a lot of females are putting on that facade and they're doing these guys dirty and they're bashing them, and it is not going to end well for them, us as women, or any offspring that we do have. What are we going to be teaching them when we do this? And this does go generations, and we got to do better at this. We got to do better. Like, we have to do better. Our kids are watching this, and then they're going to grow up and go and find themselves in these same predicaments. And we want to avoid that. So, if you have to divorce, you have to divorce. And anyone who divorces his wife, except for marital unfaithfulness, and marries another woman, commits adultery. Now that's Matthew chapter 19, verse 3 through 9. So this is not a game. But unfortunately, some marriages cannot and should not be saved. None of us should feel obligated to endure an emotional, physical, or sexually abused relationship. In those cases, get the divorce, move forward. You are pretty much allowed to do that. And let's be honest, love is patient, it's kind, and is not jealous. Love does not brag, and it is not arrogant, does not act unbecomingly, it does not seek its own, it is not provoked, does not take into account a wrong suffered, does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. That's 1 Corinthians 13, chapter 13, verse 4 through 7. And that's a really important one. If you don't read your Bible, learn that one. Get in your Bible, read that. It's going to help because as actual godly women out there actively seeking to date, this does affect you because there are other women who are putting on this facade, and it's going to get in the way, and it's going to make it a little bit harder for you, but stay on track. Your husband is out there. Now, for those out there who are sperm jackers, and I do literally mean sperm jackers because there was a case where this guy had the gun put to his head by this woman in the middle of sex for him to finish inside her. He had to do it at gunpoint. So there are really these women, some of these females are losing their damn mind. Let's just say that. Be careful. And if you looking, make sure you are making the right choices. And females, ladies, you cannot be bashing men, but you done chose to be with them and maybe even produce kids with them, like, not by force, but just choosing to. Don't bash the men for it. Don't do that. They're not dogs. They're not all the bad things that everyone online is pretty much saying about them. It's not cool. Like, it's not cool at all. They don't deserve that. They should be treated as equals. They're not our footstools. They're not toys for us to play with their hearts and then set them on the shelf when they get a little older or a little out of shape or this, that, and the other. Pretty much the same things that you are looking for from a man, men are looking for the same thing. They love hard. If they love you, they will give you everything that they are. Treat them right, treat them good. And you know what? Let me do a salute to all my exes because I know I was the easiest to be with. But hey, it is life and it is a lesson. So kudos to you guys. And for the men who are going their own way, whatever makes you happy, do what's best for you. And beware of these career marriage women out here. Because they're after the bag, baby. And they don't care about your heart. It's all about. And ladies, there are some men out there who are doing the same thing. So just, ladies, stop bashing men. Love them, respect them, treat them right. And take your time and choose the right woman who is going to be best suited and for you. And y'all be good. Till next time. You have been listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station, bringing you less